From Metamora Township High School and Garber Gymnasium, Clutch Sports Media is on the scene for Mid-Atlantic Conference boys basketball. Metamora hosts the East Peoria Raiders in a big-time conference clash. Alongside John Camosa, I'm Gavin Russell. John, we've got a big one on our hands tonight. It's our first game of the new year, 2023, and we're starting it in style. We got a big one here tonight.
Oh, we certainly do. Kind of going through those holiday tournaments, a lot of competitive games between East Peoria and their Williamsville tournament. Then Metamora going over to Mississippi actually won the whole tournament, so both these teams primed and ready to go in the new year. And when you look down both rosters, a lot of talent for these two teams.
There's a lot of talent indeed. We're going to see two Division I prospects on display tonight. We've got Justin Page and Ethan Kaiser. Tell us a little about those guys.
Yeah, Justin Page heading to Cal Poly. He's a transfer from Manual. He's made a huge impact for East Peoria this season. Great facilitator, great playmaker out here. And then for Ethan Kaiser, what more is to say about Kaiser? Runner-up last year in the state championship. He had a huge game for them in that win over Simeon, and then the loss to Sacred Heart Griffin. He made his impact. But coming into this season, you can tell he's developed. Heading to South Alabama, another big key player for the Metamora Redbirds.
They are two outstanding players leading their respective programs, but we can look up and down each roster and pick out several players that are key contributors for the home Redbirds. How about Matthew Zobrist, Tyson Swanson, Luke Hopp, Drew Tucker? The list goes on and on. Metamora is really deep.
Yeah, they are, and that's one thing with both of these teams. We'll start with Metamora, and Gavin, you mentioned it right there, the balance of this team. You don't just single out Ethan Kaiser because any other guy on this team can get you double figures. Matthew Zobrist especially, and Tyson Swanson, and to go along with Drew Tucker and then Tyler Mason really have made their impact on this team, and they're primed and ready tonight. Playing in Garber Gym, kind of a new look for the Redbirds, not being able to use their home gym currently.
Right, as you mentioned, Tepke Gymnasium undergoing some work. They had some water damage, unfortunately. A great, fantastic facility, great court, great atmosphere. Move up to the old gym, Garber Gymnasium. I love the floor. It's got a really kind of an older look to it. You got the Redbird on the floor, Redbird spelled out in text. Really, really nice looking here. But look at the visitors. How about the East Peoria Raiders? And we highlighted Justin Page, but you can look up and down their roster and pick out several guys. Jack DuBois, Saul Chown, Cam Mabels, AJ Reinders. They have a lot of guys that can contribute also.
Yeah, they do, and in their win overnight against Quest, a really balanced scoring effort from East Peoria. I think that game kind of got them ready going into a really big Mid-Illini test. I think East Peoria, they definitely have the talent on the team this year to give a lot of tough teams in this conference a run. So the Raiders looking for a big game after falling short 1 point to Metamora in last year's contest between two teams.
Yeah, when they were here, losers 55-54. I talked to John Gersnich as well as Danny Greaves just yesterday. One of the things I asked John Gersnich was, what do you think about last season? You had a 1 point loss. Said, that's a game that's going to stick with these guys, put a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, so we'll see if they can rise to the occasion. Both teams out for their respective warm-ups. We got 3.5 minutes on the clock. Couple of intro things, some starting lineups and the anthem coming up. We're going to step aside for a few minute break. Again, reminder to our listeners tonight, this is an audio only broadcast. We do not have video on this tonight, but we're going to give you the full live play-by-play commentary and analysis, halftime, post-game, all that good stuff coming up from one of the biggest games around Central Illinois tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes. East Peoria, Metamora on ClutchSportsIL.com. Welcome back to Metamora Township High School and Garber Gymnasium. Just had the national anthems and warm-ups are finished. It's time for basketball in Metamora. East Peoria will introduce their starting lineup first. Here's how they line up. East Peoria will be led by number 5, senior and Cal Poly commit Justin Page. He'll play as a kind of a point guard forward combo. And next to him will be shooting guard and junior number 10, AJ Reinders. Number 11, senior shooting guard Jack DuBois. Number 23, the other point guard, 5'11 senior Cam Mabels. And number 30, the forward, 6'3 senior, number 30, Saul Chown, led by Mr. John Gersnich. He's assisted by Mark Lowe, Sam Abbey, Kenny Burns. Great staff and great team for East Peoria. You can probably hear just a little bit in the background there, them introducing their lineup. A pretty good East Peoria contingent. Got the student section off to our left. It's a capacity crowd here, John, not an empty seat in the house.
Oh, this is one of the best games in the area tonight as the lights go out for Metamora. His hometown crowd is fired up.
The lights are out, the glow sticks are out, and the crowd is on its feet. Metamora will introduce their starting lineup, of course, led out by big senior 6'5 Ethan Kaiser. He will be among the best on the court tonight. Tyler Mason, the shooting guard, junior, wearing number 10, starting alongside him. Luke Hopp, wearing number 14, will be in the starting lineup as well, the junior. Here, Kaiser introduced in the background. They'll also have Drew Tucker out there. Drew Tucker, senior, wearing number 24. Number 22, senior Tyson Swanson will be out there. Danny Greaves, the head coach of the Metamora Redbirds. They finished their starting lineups. John, let's get some keys to the game. First of all, for East Peoria, I got to say they got to play consistently. Can't have really too many bad possessions, bad quarters. Maybe a key for East Peoria.
Yeah, key for East Peoria. I think one thing, even though they had that big win over Quest, was turnovers late. Got to limit turnovers. And for East Peoria, I should say for Metamora, just attack the basket. That's where they've been so physical this season. Getting to the rim, look to keep that play going tonight. Should be a really great contest.
And for Metamora, key.
Same thing, like I said, just attack the basket. But I think for both teams, it comes down to defense in this game, Gavin. It's going to be a physical game.
Tip is won by Metamora. They're in their white home uniforms, East Peoria in maroon. Drew Tucker with it. Dribbles around and gives it to Swanson. Now over to Tyler Mason. Back to Kaiser. Top of the key, three-pointer off the front iron. And it's tipped out of bounds. It's going to go to East Peoria. Tipped out by Tyson Swanson. Saul Chown will inbound it for the Raiders and gives it to Justin Page.
And you got this full crowd on the East Peoria side. Same with Metamora. So starting that early tempo is going to be big for either team.
DuBois has it, top of the key, dribbles around, gives it to Page. Page drives in with the right, steps back, goes, pulls up, hits it from the free throw line.
Justin Page coming over from Manual, really making a statement for this East Peoria team this season. Starts it off with a bang. The nice jump shot.
Just getting started, 2-0 Raiders early lead. Tucker, top of the key, drives inside, gives it over to Swanson. Swanson will drive, kicks it back out now to Mason. Mason behind the back, dribble, drive, in, gets his own rebound, up and in for 2, 6:59 and counting.
Those second chance points are going to be big as well. Both sides, Mason attacking the basket.
Poked away by Ethan Kaiser, back into the backcourt. Page picks it up, dribbles slowly across the timeline, gives it to Chown, top of the key, hands it back off to Page. Page with his left, blocked away by Ethan Kaiser, gives a little bump to the wall.
And Gavin, you talked about that at the start of this game. Two Division I players going at it, and Kaiser gets the upper hand with that block.
Inbounds it to Chown, into the backcourt. He'll retrieve it. Comes up now, gives it to Mabels, top of the key, over to the near side to DuBois. DuBois dribble drive over to Reinders. Reinders on the wing, three-pointer, in and out, nearly had it. Bounced around, and it'll stay with East Peoria. Saul Chown fighting for the rebound.
And early on in this game, both these teams, similar styles of play as we've seen throughout this season. They like to attack the basket, really solid defensively, also not afraid to shoot it from beyond the arc.
Page to inbound. Gets it in now to Chown. Gets over to Du Bois. Back to Page, top of the key. Switches on to him is Mason. Drives to the right, now to Mabels. Now to Reinders. Reinders drives down the lane. Up, blocked away by Ethan Kaiser. Second block of the day. Down the court we go. Here's Tucker. Tucker drives in with the right. Blocked by Saul Chown. Block party in Metamora. Here comes Page the other way. Slows it down. Reinders feeds to Du Bois. Up and in for two. Quick sequence right there. 4-2. East Peoria leads. 5:45 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, great sequence right there. Ball movement. Reinders able to get it to Du Bois. Nice save by Page as well, able to keep that play alive.
And an unforced error right there. Tyson Swanson couldn't hook up with Luke Hopp, out of bounds. 5:39 left to go in the first quarter. Saul Chown inbounds to Justin Page, the Cal Poly commit. Gives it to Chown, top of the key, gives it over to Mabels on the far side. Mabels makes a couple moves. Du Bois inside the free throw line. Now to Chown. Corner three is up, no good. Tipped out of bounds by Ethan Kaiser. Stays with East Peoria.
That's one of those keys for East Peoria as well. They like to space the floor, get their open shots. That one couldn't go, but doing a good job of moving without the ball.
Inbounds to Page. On the Redbird logo on the floor here. Here's Du Bois, free throw line. Dribbles out. Reinders drives inside, jump step, couldn't get it to go, fights for the board. Kaiser comes out with it. Kaiser will slow things down. 5 minutes, 4-2 East Peoria leads. Moving it around, Swanson in the near corner. Dribbles back out to the top of the key, now to Kaiser on the far side. Over to Mason he goes. In is Tucker, Tucker drives and one.
Great take there from the senior. Finishes with the right hand. And getting to the line to try to complete this three-point play.
A lot of dribble drives early on for Metamora. Something that they do quite often. Drew Tucker will try to complete the three-point play. In and good. They take the lead. 5-4 Metamora. 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Justin Page over the timeline. He's guarded by Drew Tucker. Slows it down, now over to Chown. He'll make a move, stops, gives it to Du Bois. Du Bois over to the low block on the near side, and he'll have to kick it back out to Page, nowhere to go. Page stops, spins, up and in. Off the glass, Justin Page, second bucket of the day. 6-5, East Peoria, 4:15 to go in first quarter.
Just showing why he's Division I talent, able to create his own shot again. Really soft touch off the glass.
Tried to go to the low block to find Swanson, tipped out of bounds. A near steal for Justin Page. Almost halfway through this first quarter at Metamora. Into Tucker, now to Kaiser, top of the key. Gets it over Mason, wide open three-pointer, got it.
Three-point basket, Tyler Mason.
Tyler Mason, so consistent this season. Not a player you want to leave open from the three-point line.
He's been an impact player as a junior. Here's Chown, pulls up from the block, hits it with ease. 8-8 is our score, 3:45 and counting in the first quarter.
Back and forth action early on as we anticipated.
All knotted up. Kaiser guarded by Du Bois. Here's Page guarding Swanson. Mason drives inside. Euro step up the hop, in and scores.
Assist, Tyler Mason.
Great feed there from Mason. Both defenders bought on it. Gets it to the wide open hop for the lay-in.
Page pulls up. No good. Kaiser with the board. Moving quickly. Here comes Mason the other way. He'll drive inside and we'll get a foul on the floor against A.J. Reinders. He's not exactly thrilled about that call. 10-8, Metamora leads. 3:08 to go in the first quarter.
That's one thing both of these teams have done is matching the tempo, playing a up-tempo game so far.
Du Bois guards Kaiser. Kaiser, free throw line jumper, hits it. Lots of shots falling in the early going. 12-8, Metamora leads.
And a lot of mid-range shots as well. Players getting out there, creating their own looks.
Page slowly across the timeline. Now to Nas Jackson, who was just subbed in for East Peoria. Page in the near corner. Gives it to Du Bois. Turns, spins, nowhere to go. Back out to Page. He's on the near side. And a blocking call is it's a block on Drew Tucker. Page tried to drive with the right hand. Was cut off. Looked like the right call to my eye.
Yeah, Drew Tucker wanted the charge there, but not the call the officials give. Justin Page, you can see, though, Metamora really trying to stay in front of him. He's wanting to drive to the basket.
We're going to get a perspiration timeout. There's some wet spots there on the floor. A couple bodies hit the deck on the blocking foul. Fouls 2 on East Peoria, 1 on Metamora. 2:37 to go in the first quarter. Metamora with the lead. Here's Dubois on the inbounds. Gets it back to Chown. He's on the near side. Drives, it's off a foot. Recovered by East Peoria's Nas Jackson. Here's Page. Drives inside, dumps it to Chown. It's through the hands of Jackson. He's hounded, gets it back. Drives inside, up. Can't get it to go. Kaiser with the defense.
Metamora, they really pressure you defensively, making it hard for East Peoria to get inside.
Nearly stolen off the leg of Nas Jackson, says the referee. So it'll stay with the Redbirds. .205 left to go in the first quarter. And out of bounds on Saul Chown, stripped it away from Ethan Kaiser. Lots of active hands on both sides, trying to force some steals. Here's Tucker, has it, gets a screen from Kaiser, drives inside right down the lane, and a foul is called. He went right up 3 Raiders in the area.
We knew this was a game where there's going to be a lot of contact. So many players that can get inside. East Peoria right now, you can see that Metamora is really wanting to bring it to them inside. That's where they've had their most success this season.
First free throw is up and good by Drew Tucker. 1:59 to go in the first quarter. Tucker, second free throw is up and good. 14-8 is our score. Metamora in front. Been a while without a bucket for East Peoria. Justin Page gets a screen from Jackson, hands it off to Dubois. Drives inside, nowhere to go. And he throws it off of Ethan Kaiser. No man's land down there on the baseline.
As soon as East Peoria kind of slips inside, Metamora is really closed off the block down low.
Here's Chown right down the lane, can't hold on to it. Recovers, gets it to Mabels in the far corner. Now back out to Page, he'll reset near the timeline. Gets a screen from Chown, drives in, up, in for 2, Justin Page. Got 6 points, 14-10, Metamora leads.
Kind of a Euro step there from Page, able to split 2 defenders. Pretty finish.
Swanson near the volleyball line, gets it now to Hop, and throws it out of bounds. Another unforced error. A couple of those in the early going. East Peoria will get it back with 1:15 in the first quarter.
What you're going to see, Gavin, in a game like this, playing that up-tempo, there's room for little mistakes like that. But
here comes Page, drives inside, and he can't get a handle on it. That ball's been awfully slippery. You've noticed both teams having a hard time holding on to it.
Certainly has. Seen a couple that were knocked away and others that just kind of losing the handle on the ball, slip it out of bounds.
1 minute to go here in the first quarter. 14-10 Metamora leads. Swanson gives it to Kaiser. Thought about a 3, gives it up to Tucker. Here's Zobrist, just checked into the game. 3-pointer. Up, bounces around, no good. Tipped around, Metamora will get it back. Couldn't rebound for East Peoria. Now to Zobrist. Now to Tucker. Now to Swanson. Here's Mason. Gets it near the timeline. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here's Zobrist. Cut off by Chown. Kaiser guarded by Dubois. 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. Crowd gives a little support. Now to Tucker. They're going to hold for the last possession, it looks like. Kaiser has it now. The near side, just in front of us. 13 seconds to go. Now near the timeline goes to Zobrist. Now to Tucker. Back to Zobrist. Zobrist has it, drives inside, loses it, loses the handle. 3, 2, throws it up at the horn. May have been a little contact, but that's where we'll end the first quarter of play. 14-10, Metamora leads over East Peoria. Some first quarter thoughts?
Yeah, just in that last closing seconds there for East Peoria, really good job defensively. Metamora working the ball around, just couldn't get that last shot off. And first half, it was entertaining. You know, up-tempo game, both teams trying to get inside, some contact here and there, but both teams, you could tell they want to win this ball game.
Certainly do. A few mistakes on both sides. Obviously, you talked about the physicality of this. We haven't seen too many free throws. 3 fouls on East Peoria and 1 foul on Metamora in the early going. So pretty clean ball game. I mean, what do you say kind of going to both huddles? Let's start with East Peoria. What's the message?
Yeah, I think for, both sides we could say it for, Gavin, is just kind of cleaning up some of these turnovers, some, unforced errors. And late in the game, if it's close back and forth, those are where you want to clean up some of those mental mistakes. But I think defensively, both teams doing a great job at limiting some of those playmakers, not letting them score. But I think we're going to see an exciting second quarter as we just did in the first.
Going to be an exciting second quarter. Teams finishing at the last of their huddles here. Let you know who's starting out the second quarter for both sides. For East Peoria, it's going to be 1, the sophomore Nas Jackson. 10, the junior A.J. Reinders. 11, senior Jack Du Bois. 5, senior Justin Page. And 30, senior Saul Chown. It'll be Tucker, Zobrist, Kaiser, Swanson, and Tyler Mason for the Redbirds. Inbound goes to East Peoria as they'll start the second quarter with the ball. Just underway, 14-10 is our score. Metamora leads. Here's Reinders. Reinders thought about driving in, kicks it back out to Chown on the far side. He'll drive inside, spin move, up, can't get it to go, just off the glass and hit the rim awkwardly. Here's Zobrist. Zobrist moving up quickly, gives it to Mason. Now to Kaiser. Good ball movement by both sides. Gives it up to Swanson. Now over to Mason in the corner. Gets a screen. Up. Mason shoots off the front iron. Flying in is Kaiser. He'll get the offensive rebound. Tucker thought about a 3. Not doing anything with it. Here's Swanson in the low post. Drives inside, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. We'll have to get a number on that. A couple of hands reaching in. It'll be Saul Chown on the foul.
Raider foul, Saul Chown, his second personal.
A lot of really good passing in the early going, John.
Yeah, there certainly is, and really impressive effort there from Kaiser, able to soar for the rebound, grab it over 2 East Peoria players, and keep that play alive. More another crack at it, trying to get 2 points here.
Opportunity for second chance points. Caleb Greco into the game for East Peoria, replacing Saul Chown. Zobrist gives it to Mason on the far side, now gives it to Swanson on the low block. Up, in for 2, beats Greco on a post move. 7 minutes to go, 16-10 Metamora leads. Here's Reinders, drives to the left, gives it to Greco, but he can't handle it. He'll kick it back out now. Page drives inside, up, blocked off the glass. Here's Ethan Kaiser, but it's stolen away by Nas Jackson. Heads up play, feeds it to Jack Du Bois, up and under and in. Could have been a dunk for Metamora on one end. Nas Jackson makes a big play, a bucket for East Peoria.
Yeah, kind of took the words out of my mouth. What could have been a highlight reel slam from Kaiser there. Jackson able to keep it alive with a beautiful assist to Du Bois.
And we'll get a foul. Entry pass to the low post to Swanson. Crowd does not like it particularly. Foul on Caleb Greco, his first 15th foul. Inbounds. Thrown over the head of Swanson, he recovers it. Page guards Swanson, now over to Mason in the corner. He's guarded by Nas Jackson, now to Zobrist. Swanson kicks it over to Tucker. Slowing it down here, he'll back it out near the timeline, near the circle. The donut-like red circle here in Garber Gymnasium. Zobrist switches on to Du Bois. Now to Tucker on the far side. Zobrist to the top of the key. Back to Swanson, plenty of ball movement.
Very patient possession here for Metamora. Trying to fight through that physical defense from East Peoria.
Mason drives inside, body control, off the rim, no good. Here's Page. Gerznich tells him to move quickly. Here's Page, and a charge is called. Justin Page not getting the call on that one, and Drew Tucker's fired up.
Offensive foul, Raiders, Justin Page.
knew it's going to get loud in this gym.
Certainly is both ways. Passionate fan bases going both sides. High stakes game. Heat of the season. Gotta love this atmosphere. 16-12, 5:35 to go in the second quarter. Metamora in front.
Metamora now in the bonus.
Metamora's in the bonus. Here's Kaiser. Up, under, and fouled, and one. He'll go to the line for one more.
Especially being in the bonus here with 5 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter. You think Metamora is just going to keep pushing the ball inside, which they've done.
6-1 Falls.
And he nails the free throw. Three-point play converted. 19-12 Metamora in front. Justin Page will dribble up slowly. Just a tick over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's Page. He'll pull up for three. It's short off the iron. Here's Mason with the board. Gives it to Kaiser. Kaiser passes into the lane. Swanson up. May have been tipped away by Page. Other way goes Jackson. Pulls up, free throw line jumper off the rim. Nearly had a nice pull-up jumper from the free throw line. No dice.
One almost dropped there. It's a slow roller off the front of the rim.
Here's Tucker, drives inside. Now to Swanson in the corner. He'll drive inside, stolen away by Reinders. One-on-one, Mason, Jackson drives in. Up, Euro step, pretty finish by the sophomore.
5'10" sophomore Nas Jackson. Great move there. Almost looked like Mason was trying to track it down for a block, but sophomore gets it to fall.
19-14. Shade over 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Swanson hands it off to Kaiser for three. Off the iron. Page grabs the board. Now they'll move quickly. Here's Page. Page gives it to Du Bois in the corner. He's been quiet. Up and in. He gets his second bucket of the day. 4 minutes to go, 19-16. Metamora leads.
Little stare down from Du Bois on Kaiser after that, too. Able to get by him by the three-point line. Pretty layup.
Moving it around. Swanson now to Zobrist. Zobrist on the near side gets a screen. Reinders guarding him. Page, Swanson for three. In and out, nearly had it. And a foul, it's going the other way. It's gonna go a foul on Metamora. Matthew Zobrist picks up the foul.
Just when it looked like Metamora is trying to take a little control in this game, grab all the momentum, East Peoria right back in within 3 points.
19-16, 3:39 to go in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Entertaining matchup so far. Du Bois to inbounds, and it's stolen away by Tyler Mason. Tucker up, rims out, gets his own rebound, up, can't get the second effort to go. Third effort, no good. Got his own rebound twice. Other way we go. Mabels drives inside. Maybe a bit of a push, some contact, no call.
A little bit, but they're letting him play.
Middle Illini basketball is tough basketball. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's Du Bois, three-pointer off the back iron. Mason picks it up. He'll drive to the top of the key, gets a screen. Thought about stepping back. Guarded by Nas Jackson. Now he'll kick it out, nowhere to go. Tucker over to Swanson. Now to Kaiser in the low post. Drives inside, up to Hop. Up and under is in.
His fourth point of the game, similar to the first basket he had. It's up and under, able to get open underneath.
Here's Nas Jackson. Thought about pulling up from the free throw line, thinks better. Here's Reinders, up, under with the left hand and in, 21-18, 2:22 to go in the second quarter.
A lot of different players getting involved for East Peoria. We have ourselves quite the second quarter, Gavin.
It's been great so far. Kaiser slows it down. Mason thought about a three. East Peoria moves into his zone, 2-3. Here's Kaiser for three. He hits it. Three-pointer by Ethan Kaiser, 24-18. Under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's Page. He pulls up for three. Top of the key, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Tyson Swanson. Now gives it to Tyler Mason. Over to Hop. Hop drives in, he's stripped away. Ball's on the floor, and A.J. Reinders of East Peoria comes out with it.
Great defense there from Page, able to swipe it away on Hop.
Here's Mabels, and a travel.
Traveling violation, Raiders.
Wasn't thinking before he dribbled right there and took a step.
Walker.
Minute 29 to go, and Ethan Kaiser will, I believe, take his first breather of the evening.
Yeah, Nick Walker checks in for Metamora. First time we've seen him.
Walker, another junior. Moves it around. Here's Mason. Gives it to Tucker. Now to Swanson. Moving it around is Metamora. Tucker has on the far side. Here's Hop. Back to Tucker. Pitch and catch. Swanson on the low block. Up, under, no good. Double team defense. Justin Page had a hand in there. Here comes Page. Under a minute to go now. And another travel. Second possession in a row. A turnover for East Peoria. Got to clean those up.
Yeah, not what you want in a game that's this close. And turnovers can lead to points. And a team as physical as Metamora. So right here, it's going to take a big defensive stand for East Peoria in this closing minute.
24-18, Metamora in front. Under a minute to go, 49 seconds. Walker gives it over to Mason, hounded on defense by Jackson. Now to Tucker. Swanson thought about a three. Pump fakes. 37 seconds to go. They may be content for the last shot if they get it. And they'll set it up here. Jackson guarding Mason. Gives it to Walker. 25 seconds to go now. Tucker moves it over to Swanson. They will hold for the last shot, it looks like, John.
And we'll see who has the ball in their hands to take that final shot.
12 seconds to go. Now 10, 9, 8, now 7. Tyson Swanson in the corner for three. No bucket is the call. It's going to be an offensive foul, an illegal screen. 2 seconds to go on the clock.
Gersnich comes over to the officials, scores table. He wants more time on the game clock there, Gavin.
Clock may have ran maybe an extra second or two, nothing substantial. As it stands, there's 2 seconds on the clock right now. Metamora holds a 24-18 lead. A big bucket right here could do a lot.
Yeah, it could maybe possibly add 2 seconds at max to this game clock. Still got to get it down court quick.
Two officials discussing at the scores table. I believe that's Don King. Probably see him quite a bit around the area. No time is added to the clock.
Almost a catch and heave situation here as King goes over to talk to Gersnich, and it's going to remain at 2 seconds, Gavin.
5.5 is on the clock now. They will change it. Initial impressions didn't show they were going to change it. 5.5 seconds to go. Inbounds to Reinders. Here's Jackson streaming up the court. 2, and he's fouled. Now there's 2 seconds. A smart foul, a take foul. Metamora only had 2 team fouls prior to that.
You went back to your original schedule, 2 seconds, but now you got the ball on the other side with a great chance to try to put up some points.
Chance for a catch and shoot. 2 seconds on the clock. A.J. Reinders will inbound.
See if Du Bois comes around a screen here. One of your good three-point shooters. Try to open up something for Page.
2.4 will be on the clock. Reinders into Jackson. Reinders, deep three, shoots it, no good, just off the back iron. Good look from A.J. Reinders. That's where we close out the first half of play. East Peoria trails Metamora 24-18. Some quick first half thoughts, John.
Yeah, just an exciting game. I mean, both teams playing physical. Referees are letting them play, and we've seen just a really balanced scoring attack by both sides. East Peoria getting Du Bois in the mix, Justin Page, Reinders, Nas Jackson's made some great assists out here tonight, and then Ethan Kaiser, Tyson Swanson, Drew Tucker. It's been a phenomenal game so far in this Mid Illini contest.
It's been good. We'll try to work on maybe getting some stats here at halftime. It's not really been one player to stand out either way. We'll have a bit of an extended halftime here as Jared Hart, the athletic director, let us know that they have a couple of ceremonies and things to do here at halftime. So they'll get on with that. We'll come back for some more analysis and recap, but we're going to step aside for a brief break. Again, a reminder, if you've just joined us, this is an audio-only broadcast, so be providing you the radio-style commentary and analysis that you would typically get. Great Clutch Sports Media coverage as always, but as it stands, it's halftime. Metamora in front, 24-18. We'll be back to talk in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Metamora. Clutch Sports is on the scene for East Peoria Metamora Mid-Atlantic Conference boys basketball. Alongside John Camosa, I'm Gavin Russell. Getting ready for the second half of action here. It's been an entertaining one so far. Metamora in front 24-18. A couple minutes left to go in warm-ups here. John, let's get some first half stats. Let's start with the home Redbirds who are in front.
Yeah, balanced attack for Metamora right now. Luke Hopp with 4 points. Ethan Kaiser with 8, Tyler Mason, the 6'1" junior, with 5, Tyson Swanson with 2, and Drew Tucker with 5. For East Peoria, down 24-18 in this game, they're looking for some more production out of their players. Naj Jackson with 2 points, AJ Reinders with 2, Justin Page and Jack Du Bois with 6 apiece. Just those 4 players in the scoring column for this game. And I should say, sorry, Sol Count with 2 as well. Don't want to leave them out.
Sure, for sure. Some balanced scoring on both sides. Again, as you mentioned, Ethan Kaiser leading all scorers with 8 points, so nobody in double figures quite yet, but I would expect that to change. Just a shade under 2 minutes to go here in warm-ups. Let's talk about some keys to the second half, and again, if you were with us, there was a lot of physicality. More free throws shot on the side of Metamora. Did East Peoria shoot a free throw in that first half, John?
I don't believe so, Gavin.
Not many fouls on Metamora. Pretty physical both ways. Not a lot of fouls called on Metamora. But maybe a key for both sides in my mind. You got to just kind of play through the physicality. You got to be able to kind of embrace it. Finish strong. They're not going to get anything easy. You're not going to get to the foul line at will. Got to embrace that here in the second half. Maybe a key for both sides.
Yeah, I think we start with East Peoria. And Gavin, we talked about this during the halftime break. You know, kind of a differential on fouls there. East Peoria, like we said, didn't shoot a free throw. Metamora getting to the line more. And I think for East Peoria, you can try to kind of take that to your advantage and just start going at Metamora to try to get inside, maybe have some of their key players draw some fouls on you, try to start getting to the line in the second half. I think for Metamora, continue what they're doing, getting inside. That's where they're finding their success in this game. You know, East Peoria doing a great job on defense around the perimeter, so that's caused Metamora to look inside. And so far, it's worked out, but a game right within reach for East Peoria. And Metamora, they want to pull away a little bit because this is one of the closer games they've played in.
They've played in some close ones before, but this one may have chops to be the closest, although East Peoria, maybe call them the Cardiac Raiders, they won 2 games in double overtime at the Williamsville Holiday Tournament. They won on a last-second near buzzer beater against Morton, 51-50. So in close situations, they've been better this year, but of course, they got to get a lead. They got to be able to put themselves in striking distance. Metamora looking to put it away.
Yeah, and I think that's big for East Peoria, especially this early in the season. You know, January right now, and they played in those 2 double overtimes. The overtime win over Morton, so they're kind of used to these late game situations. As is Metamora, they've played in some games close, so at both teams, they've been there. They're going to try to show that tonight. Who wants it more?
Away we go in the second half. Metamora starts with the ball. Kaiser has it. He's out there with Tucker, Swanson, Mason, and Hopp. Get to the East Peoria lineup in a minute. Here's Mason driving in. He slips, and a travel is called. So, again, been a little perspiration issues, some slippery ball. Not able to get your footing on the court there. Page is in there with Du Bois, Reinders, Mabels, and Chown for East Peoria. Same starting lineups as we saw in the first half. Just getting on their way here in the second half of play. Metamora in front. Reinders has the top of the key. Nowhere to go, picked his dribble up, gets it to Page. Page on the free throw line, drives in, and a charge is called, much to the dismay of the East Peoria bench. I think that's the second foul there on Justin Page.
His second personal.
And Drew Tucker, we've seen that how many times throughout this season. He sets his feet, gets in front, and I don't think East Peoria side agrees.
Yeah. Here come the Redbirds. Hands it off to Tucker. He'll have the top of the key. Mason over to Kaiser. Kaiser drives in Du Bois, guards him, he has to kick it back out. Swanson moves it to Hopp. Now Tucker drives in, spin move, up and in off the glass. First points of the second half go to the Redbirds, 26-18, 6:55 to go.
East Peoria trying to look for their first points of the third quarter.
Here's Mabels up, just off the rim, no good. Here's Kaiser, takes it the other way, soaring in, stripped away, picked up though by Mason. Mason feeds it to Hopp, in the quarter, wide open for 3, Tucker hits it!
Metamora hot out the gate. Second half.
And a timeout taken quickly by East Peoria. 6.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
East Peoria timeout, full timeout.
Again, not a lot of happiness on the East Peoria side. They've not been extremely happy with the officiating, but it's one of those things not really under your control at all. And of course, you know, you've covered high school sports for a long time. You've played baseball, I believe, correct, John? I'm sure you've seen your fair share of different officiating and umpiring in your day. I mean, it's one of those things in high school, again, you just kind of have to put it out of your mind.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things, too, where you're not going to change who's on the floor, and you got to kind of play through that adversity. You got to put it in the back of your mind and keep playing the game. That's what's got to happen. You're in a situation right now, you're trying to kind of crawl back into this game, and it's going to start with just physical defense and really making a statement on offense. For Metamora, they're trying to separate in this game. They know how big this game is in conference play, so kind of see how this last 6:30 transpires here in the third quarter.
A lot of coaches will talk about just win the quarter, maybe win the possession, start with small things, and then ultimately, hopefully, will lead you to win the whole game. Metamora in front, 29-18. They've had a couple quick buckets here in the third quarter. Again, we've not played much time, but they've already have 5 points. East Peoria hasn't scored yet in the second half. Justin Page will take it, and we'll try to change that narrative. He keeps dribbling it, guarded by Tucker closely. Here's Page, drives in, steps through. Here's Chown up, blocked away. Du Bois gets the board and one. The bucket and the harm. Feels like a big momentum changer, 29-20, and a chance at one more.
Basket good, Jack
Drew Tucker, great job getting his hand on the ball from
Redbird foul.
Chown, but Jack Du Bois, second chance point.
Du Bois at the line.
Hoop and harm, chance to complete the three-point play.
29-20, free throw is up and good, nothing but nylon. 6-13, it's an 8-point lead for the Redbirds. And we're gonna get a stoppage here. Clock discrepancy. Not exactly sure what the issue is.
The clock continued to run there, or it stopped, I should say, Gavin.
I was watching the JV game as well. There was a couple of those clock discrepancies as well. We can blame it on the old scoreboard of Garber Gymnasium, maybe a little delayed perhaps.
And Tepke, you got the stats on both sides, your points, your fouls here. More of an older scoreboard, but
got to say, I'm a fan of the gymnasium, though. It's actually pretty comparable capacity, although it's their secondary gymnasium, but about the same size, perhaps even bigger than Tepke, just down the hall.
Had no problem filling it up either.
It is capacity crowd, standing room only. Nearly stolen by Chown. Here's Hop, and now stolen by Du Bois. Up the floor quickly, up and under, can't get it to go. Chown gets the board. Now to Reinders, kicks out to Mabels. Page thought about a three. Body's hitting the deck. Du Bois for three, gets it.
Huge basket there from Jack Du Bois. Great look from Page as he was kind of falling down. Tucker looking for another charge. Momentum shift here for the Raiders.
29-24, 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Here's Luke Hop. Handoff, Mason, three-pointer, answers.
Tyler Mason for three.
One way to respond if you're Metamora. Tyler Mason able to bury it.
Big response from the Redbirds. Here's Page. Page, dribble drive, pulls up, long two-pointer, hits it. It's a professional-looking shot from Justin Page.
You can tell Justin Page wants to win this game.
Here comes the scoring, fast and furious, 32-26. Inside, Swanson has a mismatch, up and in. Back and forth we go, trading buckets both ways. 34-26, under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Chown gives a screen. Here's Page, up with the left hand, off the glass and in.
It's a really soft touch there from Page with the left hand. So smooth around the basket, Gavin.
5 straight possessions going both ways, 5 straight buckets. 34-28. Here's Tucker, gives it to Mason, now to Kaiser. Kaiser thought about a three, guarded by Page, hand in his face, but he knocks down a bucket.
Both teams exchanging blows.
Cannot miss right now. Here's Page. Page has it around the three-point line. Drives in. Up and under. Oh, just off the back iron. Now to Kaiser. Here's numbers for the Redbirds. Up, hop, in for two.
From Tyler Mason.
Metamora just getting down there, scoring at will.
38-28. Under 4 minutes to go. Here's Du Bois, drives up the baseline, fouled, and nearly an and one, just rimmed out. Could have been his second and one of the quarter, but he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Gavin, how many of those shots have we seen that's just
Redbird
so
foul,
close?
Tyler Mason, his second
Just
personal.
barely rolling off the front of the rim there.
Correction,
Soft
first
rims
personal.
here, so
On the line, Jack Du Bois.
again, every gym's a little bit different, but they're close. Du Bois, first free throw is up and good. Page will check out, 3:44 to
Checking
go.
in Matthew Zobris for Luke Hobb.
East Peoria got it within 6. Was their halftime deficit, but Metamora had it as much as double digits. The boys get it down to an 8-point deficit with a second free throw. Second free throw up and good. 38-30. Tyler Mason dribbles it up for the Redbirds. Oh, nowhere to go. Oh, and he misses the dunk. Tyler Mason couldn't get it to go. Nobody in front of him. Defensive breakdown. East Peoria caught a break. Here's Nas Jackson now. Has it at the volleyball line. Gives it to Du Bois. Top of the key. He's guarded by Ethan Kaiser. Handoff. No, Du Bois will keep it. Now to Chown. Chown thought about a 3. Nothing happening. Now to Du Bois. Little 2-man game. Now Du Bois will back it out, and a timeout will be taken by East Peoria. 30-second timeout.
Raider timeout.
Not a lot going on there. Maybe the play they had set up didn't go their way. Smart timeout.
We'll see if Justin Page comes back into this game. You saw him standing there in those closing seconds before the timeout, having some Powerade. Grab a refresher and get back in here. He's been so key in this game for East Peoria, but Gavin, going back to that play, huge break there for East Peoria. That's a sure dunk there from Tyler Mason we've seen throughout the season. He just couldn't get it to go, kind of lost the handle.
It almost looked to me, he wasn't going to throw down a thunderous dunk. He got plenty high enough, but it kind of just wanted to drop it in and just dropped it off the back iron.
Like you said, too, a lot of perspiration involved, a little slick, and East Peoria a chance to reset. Justin Page still on the bench here.
Feels like a Florida summer in this gym right now. Humidity at its finest. Reinders has it on the inbounds, down to Du Bois. Jackson gives it to Chown, over to Mabels. Du Bois at the top of the key. Now Reinders will shoot for 3, hits it! 5-point deficit for East Peoria, 38-33, 2:46 to go in third quarter.
Three-point basket.
How about that shot from the 6'2 junior Reinders? Buries it.
Now Kaiser has it. He'll hand it off to Tucker, now to Mason. Passing it around, everybody touching it. Matthew Zobris, the sophomore, has it. Zobris gets the handoff, nothing going, guarded by Reinders. Now to Tucker on the near side. Kaiser fed it. He has a 3 from the corner, no good. Gets his own board, up. Now Zobris for 3, short, airballed it, didn't hit the rim. Up the floor we go, here's Jackson. Up and fouled by Matthew Zobris. Nas Jackson will shoot 2, and Justin Page will come back into the game.
East Peoria pushed the tempo there. Jackson able to draw the
River
foul from
Matthew
Zobris.
his second personal.
And with 2 free throws here, East Peoria can quickly cut this game to 3 points, Gavin. Ferocious comeback.
Buckets have been coming fast and furious. First free throw is good by Nas Jackson.
Justin Page returns
Hit
to
the
the
front
rim.
rim and in. Page checks in for A.J. Reinders, who just hit a big 3 moments ago. Second foul shot from Nas Jackson. Up and no good, so he'll hit 1 of 2. 38-34, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tyler Mason dribbles across the timeline, guarded by Jackson. Zobris now guarded by Page. Nearly stolen. Mason, now Tucker for 3 in the corner, can't get it to go. Chown grabs the board. Here comes East Peoria. Slows it down though, under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Page, guarded now by Kaiser, the D1 matchup. They'll slow it down. 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mabels has it now over to Chown. Pitch and catch. Backs it out to Mabels. No urgency from East Peoria. Here's DuBois. Drives in. Up and under. Nowhere to go. Backs it out to Page. Page guarded by Zobrist. Up with the left hand and in.
That's a great move from Page.
Down by as much as 10. East Peoria down 2. 38-36. Crowd rises to its feet. Gets loud. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Here's Tucker. Drives in. Corner three. Swanson. No good. Rebounded by Mabels.
Chance for East Peoria to tie or take the lead.
Here's Page. Drives in. Step back. Wide open mid-range shot. Can't get it to go off the iron. Here comes Metamora. 40 seconds to go. Mason drives in and fouled on the floor. John Gerznich wanted to travel.
Going to be on the floor.
We're going to say he was held prior to him driving the basketball, so that'll explain the no travel call.
Raider foul, Sal Chown, number 30.
And Gavin, let's take a quick moment. Does this not feel like a playoff game? I mean, the
This
atmosphere, the back and forth scoring, it's exciting.
38-36, and it feels every bit of a playoff game. Referee's gonna talk to Wade Buddy Jackson. Buddy's what he goes by, known most affectionately.
Talking with Drew Tucker there.
Little jawing, friendly sportsmanship, gamesmanship by both players. In, Swanson, mismatch in the low post. Jackson on Tucker. He flips it over. Mason, three from the corner, no good. And it's an over-the-back call on Tyson Swanson. Now 28 seconds, East Peoria has a chance.
So every bit of momentum can really shift here in just this possession for East Peoria. You have a chance to tie or take the lead going into the fourth quarter. You'd think, Gavin, they're going to hold for the last shot here.
38-36, 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Justin Page. They're taking the last shot. They have anything to do with it. He's guarded by Drew Tucker. No 5-second count. Crowd wants it. Here's Chown. Here comes Page. Jackson drives in, floater. Not happening. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Heave at the horn. Tyson Swanson, it's short. 38-36 is where we leave the third quarter. Oh boy, John Camosa, it's ramping up for a big finish.
Yeah, hold on to your seats here. This is going to be an exciting finish. I mean, got a full house, everyone loud here on both sides. And Gavin, this fourth quarter, final 8 minutes, we're in for a treat.
Metamora led by as much as 10 points. East Peoria cut it to 2. They had 2 chances to either tie or take the lead, just couldn't get it to go. Had shots at it, didn't make mistakes, just shots not falling. Obviously, got to talk about composure in this situation, and both teams have quite a few seniors. Metamora, though, obviously making that deep state playoff run last year, has maybe a little more experience in these close game situations. How do you keep teams composed?
Yeah, I think it's just going to, be from both coaches, Gerznich and Greaves, to kind of keep their players composed, like you said, Gavin. In late game situations, both teams have been in these situations throughout the season, so it's really going to take a lot of heart, the will to win. And you got to think what we talked about earlier. East Peoria, maybe in the back of their head, hey, we lost by 1 point last season. They want to try to get this one back. For Metamora, they want to try to make it another win over their rival East Peoria.
Jackson, DuBois, Page, Chown, and Greco into the game to start the quarter for the Raiders. Here's Page. He'll be picked up by Kaiser. Page driving in, free throw line, left hand up. Can't get it to go off the glass, no good. Just getting started here in the fourth quarter. Less than 8 to play. Here's Tucker, and he's guarded by Page. Hands it off to Swanson. Swanson thought about a 3, drives inside, up and under, pretty foul, and 1.
Just when he looked like he might have dished it there, he goes up and under with the left hand and the foul.
Saul Chown picks up the foul, and he'll get subbed out for A.J. Reinders, so he'll take a seat.
Sal Chow with 4 personal fouls.
4 personal fouls for Chow, and that's huge.
Swanson at the line, shooting 1.
He's one of the bigger presences, plays well in the low post. Here's Swanson to complete the 3-point play. It's in. 5-point lead for Metamora, 41-36. Not even a minute gone here in the fourth. Here's Jackson, now to Page. Here's Reinders, thought about a 3. He'll step back and kick it out to Page. Now to Du Bois. He thought about a 3. Kicks it back out. Raiders will reset. Here's Jackson. Feeds it in. Threads the needle up and in. Jack Du Bois somehow got that one to go. 2 points, 41-38.
Those soft rims, friendly bounce. Cuts it to 3. Smooth touch here from Du Bois.
Here's Mason, drives in, up and under. What a finish. Responds with 2. They lead by 5. 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Page guarded by Tucker. He gets a screen from Greco. Greco nearly lost it. Recovers, Du Bois up, slipped. Looked like he held his position barely. Up and in, and a charge is called on Justin Page. Thought they were going to call a foul. Looked like they got a little contact on the arm for any body contact, but Don King says otherwise.
That's the 3rd foul on Page now. A lot of precipitation here on the court.
Each team with 4 fouls.
4 personal fouls both ways. Again, not a lot of fouls. There was 10 combined fouls in the first half, 8 combined fouls in the second half. Letting them play to a pretty good degree, but that's 3rd or 4th charge we've seen. All have been on East Peoria. Redbird lead is 5. Tucker has it. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Mason pulls up, free throw line, got it. Big shot. Tyler Mason has turned it on here in the fourth quarter. Extend their lead out to 7.
Metamora trying to separate East Peoria. Looking for a big bucket.
Jackson up and fouled. He'll get fouled by Luke Hopp. Jackson will shoot 2. He shot 2 free throws a bit ago and split at the line. Need your free throws in these situations.
Shooting 2, Nas Jackson.
Yeah, free throws are big down the stretch.
Metamora with 5.
See towels come out again, Gavin. A lot of precipitation on that court. It's kind of been the story of the game.
Again, very humid in here. A sauna, only thing comparable. Here's Jackson, first free throw up and no good. Obviously a big situation, gotta find your composure. Can cut it to 6 with a free throw. Free throw up and good, does cut it to 6. 5:53, lots of time to go. Full court pressure, picked up by Page. Screen from Kaiser. Here's Tucker, drives all the way down to the lane. Fouled on the back by Nas Jackson. So Tyson Swanson will shoot 2 shots at free throw line.
Raider foul, A.J.
Kind of
Reinders,
forcing
his
East
second
Peoria to
personal.
foul. They're getting inside.
15 fouls. Swanson at the line.
Swanson, another pair of free throws.
Free throw, first one's no good off the front iron. .554 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Swanson's second one. It's good. Splits the line. 46-39. Metamora in front. Quarter number 4. Greco gives a screen. Now it gets back out to Page. He's going to set up a play. Talking with Du Bois. And Du Bois will get the ball now. Moves it to Jackson. Now to Greco. Now to Reinders. Now to Page. Wide open for 3. Got it!
Justin Page
Basket, Justin
answers the
Page.
call. Just like that, East Peoria cuts it to 4.
Huge shot from Justin Page. 46-42. Here's Mason driving in off the iron.
Tyler Mason.
Thought there might have been a little contact for a charge. Nothing called. 48-42. Under 5 minutes to go. Here's Jackson. Drives in. Left hand. Switches to the right. DuBois gets the board. Kicks it out to Reinders. Second chance opportunity. Tipped away. Reinders gets it back. And it'll stay with East Peoria, tipped out by Tyler Mason, but he's turned it on here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Mason putting the defensive pressure on, and East Peoria looking to get another basket here.
Got to keep it close in the late stages. Regulation time, 4.5 minutes. Reinders, three-pointer. Oh, in and out. Tipped and brought in by Luke Hopp. Kaiser will get it, and he'll slow it down. And now Drew Tucker has it, lead the Redbird offense. Mabel set to check in for the Raiders at the next dead ball. Here's Kaiser. Kaiser drives in, up, under, and in. 50-42, back to an 8-point lead, 4 minutes to go, halfway home.
Kaiser, another big basket.
Here's Page, thought about a drive, but he'll take it back out, slow it down. Now to DuBois, now to Reinders. Back to Jackson, now to Page. Lots of ball movement. Drives, pull up from the wing, got it. Justin Page on fire.
He is having himself a game.
50-44. Fasten those seatbelts, here we go. Ethan Kaiser. Inside, Greco, and a foul is called and one.
Basket good.
For a lot of contact in this game, that was one of the softer calls we've seen.
Another foul from East Peoria. Kaiser getting to the line. And it seems like every time that East Peoria has been able to score on the other end, Metamora has just answered.
They're taking it inside. A lot of credit to Ethan Kaiser. And again, mentioned the contact. They're not leaving anything short. They're fighting through, putting up and ones. Chance for an and one for Ethan Kaiser and can extend it to a 9-point lead. Metamora is led by as much as 10. East Peoria cut it down to 2 at one point. She's been trading buckets. 3:19 to go. Kaiser's foul shot is in. 9-point lead and a timeout. Metamora full timeout.
Timeout, Metamora, full timeout.
Boy, this one's had just about everything. John Camosa. Again, it seems like Metamora's got a 9-point lead, but it seems closer.
Yeah, and we've seen East Peoria go down, and then they got back within the game in that first half. Could happen again here in the second half. Not a whole lot of time on your side, but Metamora, they're in a close game situation, which they've been in this season. They want to try to put the cap on it tonight.
Looking to finish it off here at Garber Gymnasium. Thanks for sticking with us here on ClutchSportsIsle.com. Game reset for you. Metamora leads 53-44 over East Peoria. 3:19 to go in the fourth quarter, so time dwindling. The Raiders will have the ball. 6 fouls to 5. Raiders with 6, Metamora with 5. Not a whole lot of fouls called in this game, but the ones that have been called have been meaningful. Number of three-point plays, some charges, a lot of key things. What does Danny Greaves say to his group to try to close it out?
I think continue to play hard, physical on defense, and continue to attack the basket. That's what they've been doing, and it's led to those three-point play opportunities where they're getting baskets inside and getting the fouls.
A little full court pressure picked up. Reinders will be the point guard. He's picked up by Mason. Key part to this Redbird team in the second half. Couple of juniors guarding each other in a 5-second call.
5-second violation.
Little miscommunication.
Redbird ball.
Didn't have anywhere to go with it in a turnover.
Get his hands up!
3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. A bucket here feels like it could be big. Maybe not game deciding, but it could come close to it. But a turnover. Ethan Kaiser throws it out of bounds.
He's looking in the corner there, but miscommunication. Thought he had him. Goes the other way and ball out of bounds.
EP catches a break. Under 3 minutes to go. Need a bucket here. Gives it to Chown. He's playing with 4 fouls. He pulls up. Free throw line, Jay, no good. Tips around. Mason hauls it in. That was a contested shot. Here's Mason. Reinders tried to steal. Up. Tried to the lob. Mason gets his own lob. Up and in. It's an 11-point lead.
Peoria's got to score quick. Metamora can feel it.
Talk about composure. Here's Justin Page. Three-pointer, no good. Looking for the dagger. Here comes Metamora. 2:15 to go. They have nothing to hurry for.
They can use the clock to their advantage. Try to wind it down. No shot clock.
No shot clock yet here in the IHSA, and they're going to slow it way down. 2 minutes and counting. Tucker has it, and they're going to try to just milk every last second, it looks like. Stolen away, though, by Justin Page. Down the floor he goes, up and in. The steal and the score. Full court pressure from the Raiders. Tipped away, and it'll stay with Metamora. That feels like a big steal right there.
Got to put that pressure in the full court.
Inbounds it to Mason. Gets a screen. Now he drives up, guarded by Reinders. 2 juniors, 2 players wearing number 10 guarding each other. Mason drives in, gets it back. Back door, stolen away by Chown. Here comes Page, 1 minute and a half to go. Loses it, and it's going to go to Metamora. Costly turnover.
Just quick in transition, kind of lost it off his foot.
Inbounds it to Swanson. Here's Mason. Full court pressure, backs off. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. 9-point lead for Metamora. Page guards up on Tucker. Poked away, and it's going to go to a timeout. It was poked away. A lot of emotions here in this last few minutes. Both teams just really getting into it.
A little chippy towards the end here, as you'd expect. Hard-fought game on both sides all game long. East Peoria trying to get some late steals, try to get back into this. Metamora, they can kind of sense victory, but you got to be careful.
Can't celebrate too early, but East Peoria has a mountain to climb. See if we get any subs out of the timeout. It's a 30-second taken by Metamora. No subs. A lot of pressure. East Peoria doesn't have the luxury of a shot clock or anything. All ones on the shot clock. 1:10 and counting now. Kaiser gets it in the backcourt, guarded by Du Bois. Now double team. No, they're going to back off. Tucker now guarded in the face by Tucker, and it's poked away. Page thought it was off of Tucker's fingers. It's going to stick with the Redbirds, though. Tucker inbounds it to Mason in the backcourt, and they'll foul him. So now they'll send him to the stripe with 57 seconds to go. 1-1, so obviously you're hoping for a miss on the front end. Metamora, though, controls the destiny of this game. First shot is good. 10-point lead, 56-46.
Another free throw here.
Second free throw's up and good. 11-point lead. Metamora in control. Got to move quickly. Here's Justin Page. Under a minute to go. Page gets a screen. Drives in. Now to Chown. Up. Fouled, and he'll shoot 2 shots. 48 seconds to go.
Metamora foul.
Yeah, free throw is going to be big here. Chance to cut it to single digits if he can make both.
Chown at the line.
Here's Chown. First one in. East Peoria's had their free throw shooting woes at times. They've missed some key ones and key moments, but obviously that kind of locks in as the season goes along. Second one is up and good. 57-48, full court pressure is on. Here's Hop, gives it back to Swanson, now to Kaiser. Kaiser has it, drives up, and he's fouled by Cam Mabels. And it's a take foul, a little extra contact. A little high five there, nothing malicious.
Raider foul, Cam Mabels.
42 seconds to go. 9-point game. Kaiser at the line to shoot one in the bonus. Nas Jackson checks in for Saul Chow, maybe a little offense defense. Kaiser's first free throw is up and good. Again, this comes down to free throws in the late stages.
Yeah, Metamora's certainly been good at the line tonight.
Second one, rather, is up and good, 59-48. Page has it, 41 seconds. Got to move quickly. Drives, thought about a step back, nowhere to go. And he's fouled on the floor. 33 seconds to go. They'll shoot one in the bonus.
Metamora foul, Luke Hopp.
And a little offense defense. As I suspected, Chown back in for Nas Jackson.
His free throws here, if he can make both, cuts it to 9.
Justin Page at the line.
33.8 left, not a lot of time. He's still got a foul.
Page ups, first one no good. Kaiser gets the board, and he's fouled immediately, and maybe a couple free throws here could seal the deal.
East Peoria foul, Cam Mabels, his third personal.
Jackson checks back in for Chown.
Jackson returns for the Raiders.
59-48. It's come down to free throws here in the late stages. 31 seconds to go. Kaiser will shoot one in the bonus. First one is up and good, 12-point advantage. Second one is up and good. Page moving quickly, under 30 seconds to go. Drives inside, up and in. Timeout by East Peoria, 25 seconds to go, 61-50. Seems like it'd be a near impossible comeback, but got to play till the end.
Timeout Raiders.
Yeah, you do, and it's you still got to try to get a steal or a quick foul here out of the timeout, but 11-point game, 25 seconds. Quite the mountain to climb. It's Peoria looking for their 13th win of the year.
30-second timeout taken by the Raiders. It's going to be Metamora to inbound, so we'll see what they have drawn up here to avoid what I'd imagine would be a full-court press. If not, there'll be a quick foul. And it'll be Mason to inbound. Full court pressure indeed, gets it right to Kaiser, and he's fouled immediately, 23.6. Next to no time comes off the clock. Foul will be on Jack DuBois. Matthew Zobrist ready to check back into the game. Looks like Tyler Mason comes up a little limp on that play.
Yeah, hope he's all right, limps off the court. Zobrist.
It'll be double bonus time for the Redbirds, so 2 shots regardless. Up and good for Ethan Kaiser.
Kaiser at the line shooting double bonus.
Doesn't seem like Ethan Kaiser's had a profound effect, but of course just his presence, his defense is always so tough to plan against.
He gets you some big free throws when you need them. Knocks down another.
Very composed. 22 seconds to go. Here's Page. Page drives to the right. Now DuBois throws up a prayer of a 3 and hits it. And he's hurt. A timeout by East Peoria. Looks like they collided on the landing. There was no foul call. Swanson's ankle's hurt. DuBois' ankle is hurt.
3-point basket, Jack Dubois.
Worth noting, Jack Dubois in their Williamsville games had some ankle injuries to deal with, so perhaps that's still bothering him a little bit. He had a prayer of a three in the corner.
Yeah, not what you want to see late, in a game where you got two players. Well, now with Mason, three players kind of hobbling, and Dubois still down on the court there. Metamora's trainer is going to come check him out.
He'll have to come out of the game. Looks like Mabels will check back in for him. 15 to go. 15 seconds to go. 63-53. Metamora will get the ball back. Dubois will get up. Looks like he'll be able to walk off mostly under his own power. Just twisted that ankle. Never a good feeling.
They're going to help him there. So can't put pressure on it.
He's just going to go over to the baseline. See if they can stretch him out a little bit. He'll be out of the game, though, and obviously one of East Peoria's better scorers. Hope this is nothing long-term. Need him back soon. So the refs conferring on something. Making sure that was a three-pointer on the last shot. 15 seconds to go.
Devin Dunn now in for Metamora.
Devin Dunn in. First time we've called his name. Runs the baseline. Gets it to Kaiser. He's guarded closely. Throws it up. And now he's fouled. Hits the deck. 9.6. And a couple free throws here. Definitely can mean all she wrote. Try to bring Metamora home a victory.
Yeah, good to see Dubois walks back to the bench under his own strength as well.
Jackson.
Too severe there, and Kaiser has just kind of lived at the line here in these closing minutes for Metamora, trying to seal this one for good.
First free throw is up and missed. First miss of the day at the line. A lot to talk about in this game, though, and we'll certainly be talking about it. Big implications going forward for conference play. Second one is missed. Here's Page. Now to Mabels. Mabels pulls for three. Can't get it to go. Over to Kaiser. Bounced around. Jackson gets it at the horn. Throws it up and no good. Metamora winners in this contest. Winners on the home floor. 63-53 over East Peoria. Big win for the Redbirds. Some initial thoughts, John?
Yeah, just a hard-fought game by both sides. Metamora able to secure the victory, and that's a Mid-Illini game we expected coming in. Gavin, hard-fought, physical, and both teams fight until the final buzzer.
Hard-fought game indeed. It was a 2-point game at the end of the third quarter, and East Peoria just couldn't get the buckets to fall in the final frame. Metamora did what they needed to do. A lot of foul shots there in the final couple minutes. Start with the Metamora Redbirds winners. They remain perfect in conference play and pick up their 13th win of the season, John. Obviously, they've always been favorites along the way in the conference. They've been among the best, if not the best in the area. Their quest to get back to the state title game. What do you see them doing going forward?
Yeah, it just gives you a lot of confidence, especially confidence, I should say.
Right.
Going forward in the conference is what I was looking for. I think when you had that on your mind, kind of that bitter taste from last year, losing in the state championship, you knew it was their motivation to try to get back to that point. And in a tough Mid-Illini conference, they've certainly kind of asserted their dominance here. They beat some really good teams in non-conference play. So 13-2 on the year, now 6-0 in the Mid-Illini. Metamora is really finding their stride. For East Peoria, you got to try to bounce back after this one. It's a game that you wanted back from last year after coming up a point short. This year they couldn't, get the victory, but you got to try to move forward and go on into conference play strong.
Obviously, a 10-point win is a 10-point win. Felt a little closer, though, and I'm sure John Gersnich's guys will feel that way, that a couple things go differently, a couple buckets. Maybe they tie the game instead of leaving it a 2-point deficit at the end of the third quarter. totally different ball game, but of course Metamora leaving nothing to chance here tonight. They make their free throws, and you can tell they're really composed in those late stages.
Yeah, they certainly are, and it's one of those games where you knew games are going to be kind of close in this matchup. You got to come in, stay composed, like you said, and I think both teams fought extremely hard. East Peoria, they really gave it their all tonight. Just a couple things didn't roll their way, and for Metamora, it's a tough game. They kind of had to grind it out and had some big free throws late that ultimately sealed it.
Both teams played a hard-fought game, but it's ultimately a victory for the Metamora Redbirds. 63-53 is the final. These teams will meet later in the year, one of the closing conference matchups in February. They will meet again down on East Washington Street in East Peoria. Just looking at the games coming up for both sides. Metamora, they've got a big one against rival Washington back here in Garber Gymnasium. Then they go to Dunlap, and then SHG, a rematch of the state title game. Don't want to spoil it too quick, but Clutch Sports Media might be on the scene for that one, John. That's going to be fun indeed. And then East Peoria, they've got one quick turnaround Monday, home against United Township. Then they play IVC in their next conference game, home against Pekin. John, closing thoughts.
Yeah, just, a well-balanced attack by both teams. I think so many players, really stood out that we could probably give credit to in this game, not only offensively but defensively in an ultimate battle. Nas Jackson, Justin Page, AJ Reinders, Jack Du Bois, Sal Count, and then for Metamora, Luke Kopp, Kaiser, Tyler Mason, Tyson Swanson, Drew Tucker, Matthew Zobers, just kind of that core that they've had. Everybody really left it all out here tonight. It was an exciting game, close game throughout. The score, like you said, Gavin, maybe doesn't really indicate how close this game felt. 10 points was the final, but great game.
Excellent game indeed. Well, we're looking forward to the rematch and looking forward to the rest of the season. Clutch Sports has you covered. Games with WBD, games on our own. Plenty of coverage, so stay tuned. Check out our social media platforms. And we've got some great videographers out here tonight. Thank Kenny and Carter Sullivan for coming out for us. We'll have some stuff up on our Instagram, so make sure to go check that out. But for now, we'll leave it from Garber Gymnasium. For my broadcast partner, John Camilsa, I'm Gavin Russell signing off. We'll talk to you soon on ClutchSportsIL.com.